It is the start of a brand new month and it is time for a sales reset. Today I'm going to be walking you through the full action list of what I do to have a sales reset every single month. Look at what I'm selling for the next month, how I'm selling it with my one-page sales plan. I'm going to be walking you through what mine looks like for November and taking you through the questions I would ask you if we were sitting down together and doing a sales reset together. Now, this is not a complicated sales reset. I'm not going to be asking you 20 different questions. I'm not going to be telling you to go and make this really complicated 10-page Google Doc that you will never ever follow because it is so damn complicated. This is not what we're about. This is literally something which can take you 10 minutes to put together. And this is why we talk about having it on one single page, because we are forced to keep it simple. So if you're in the mood for some simple, focused sales planning and just having a bit of a sales reset ready for November, this is the video for you. The reason why I wanted to make this video for November specifically, number one, it is my birthday month. So a slightly selfish reason. For me, it is kind of my own personal new year. But secondly, I think for business generally, November is actually a really great time to have a bit of a sales reset because yes, it's not the start of a new quarter, but also we have a lot of momentum coming up for the end of the year. We have Black Friday, which obviously is really important as business owners. We have December, where a lot of people are starting to think about 2026. What do I want to buy ahead of time? New Year offers. Then we have the New Year momentum coming in as well with people in January who are, hitting January 1st and going, right, I'm going to change my entire life. What are the supports? What are the investments that I want to make to actually get there? So we have a few really big events coming up. So I think actually November and the start of this month is actually a perfect time to be having a bit of a sales reset. So this video is going up right at the start of November, but you can kind of apply this whenever. If you're watching this mid-November, if you're watching this before Black Friday, this equally applies whenever you're looking at this, because I want to walk you through what I actually do to sales plan essentially and to do a bit of a sales reset. So no matter what October looked like for you, no matter what September, any of the summer months, anything leading up to this, no matter what that looked like, this is going to be a reset moment of just re-looking at your sales plan. So as I said, the process I always follow with my clients and the document I personally have used for literally years and my clients will use as well is my one-page sales plan. And this is so effective because it just cuts all the BS. It cuts all the fluff that we typically will add to a sales plan to just make it really complicated. And this forces us to keep it so damn simple. And I wanted to show you an example of what this tangibly looks like. So I'm going to be walking you through my sales reset questions that I would ask you today in this video. So if you want to see an example of what this one-page sales plan actually looks like in action, and from a month specifically, which was a $24,000 sales month for me, if you want to see exactly what was in my one-page plan for that exact month, exactly what was in my sales plan, what made the cut, what I was actually doing, if you go to the link in the description, you can sign up to get a video sent to your inbox where I am breaking down my exact one-page sales plan that I personally used for a $24,000 sales month. So go to the link in the description, just put in your email and it'll get sent straight to you there. So what actually makes the cut when we're talking about a one-page plan then? Because I think this is the mistake so many of us make, is we will make this ridiculously complicated. We will add in so much and we'll just try and bloat this essentially. And then we're left with a really complicated sales plan that we don't fully trust in. We don't actually know if it's going to get us to our income goals, and it feels really difficult to actually execute on that plan. So we're going to do the complete opposite of that today. Now, the big thing, first of all, to remember is that when we're talking about a sales plan, we're talking about sales. And that sounds really stupidly obvious, but so much of the time, our sales plan will become really bloated and become really big and complicated because we're adding in marketing, we're adding in operations, we're putting everything into this plan, then it becomes a business plan. So we want to be really careful that we're sticking to sales here. So essentially what we are talking about is, what are we selling? Okay, what is the offer that we're selling right now? How are we going to be selling that? AKA, what are the different sales pathways which I'm using where clients can come through, where people can actually sign up and buy the thing from me? Now, one of the reasons why I talk about having a one-page sales plan specifically is I think it's really helpful for you to have one main focus at a time. I do not mean you can only sell one thing. You can absolutely sell multiple things. However, I think all roads should lead to one destination, and you having a signature offer, having a high ticket offer makes it easier for every single thing in that sales plan to work, because all roads are leading towards that one path, and you can really intentionally create sales pathways leading towards that offer that have some smaller offers on the way, that have a group program, whatever it is for you. But that offer, you know where everything is leading, you know what your main priority is, and it gives you focus. Whereas if you were to say, I'm going to sell 3 different things and they're all on the same level, there's no, end point which we're aiming towards, I'm just trying to sell all 3 different things and hopefully people will sign up for some of them, then it makes it really complicated because your energy is constantly split between where should I focus? What should I sell today? What should I talk about today? But actually, if you have that one key signature offer and everything is leading towards here, even the mini offers, the group programs, the mini pop-ups, the free events, whatever you're doing, everything leads towards this one offer. That makes it 10 times easier because all momentum is going in one direction. So the first piece I will always say is, as we're going through this sales planning, pick one signature offer that is that endpoint for you. What is the overall place you would love people to end up in? Because actually for a lot of us, I think a lot of the reason why we try and sell so many different things at once is just because, quite frankly, we don't trust that if we sell one thing, people are going to jump into that thing. Whereas actually by selling multiple things, we make it harder for people to jump into the one thing because we're giving them so many options and we're barely talking about the place we actually want them to go into, which is probably your high ticket signature offer. The first step of your sales reset for November then is, firstly, pick what are you wanting to sell? What is going to be that one signature offer for you? What is the thing that everything is leading towards that actually if you did sell 5 spots in that, for example, it would kind of change your life? What is that one thing going to be? So that is the first overall big overarching section of that one-page sales plan, is talking about that offer and what you're actually going to be selling. The next question for a sales plan is, how are we going to be selling it? And those are your sales pathways. So a sales pathway essentially is, as it sounds, a pathway that someone could follow to buy from you and for you to make a sale. So this could look like, for example, okay, I'm going to be hosting this free event, and at this free event, I'm going to be promoting my 2026 mastermind, which is the signature offer I'm really wanting to focus on at the moment. And there I'm going to be, giving them a special coupon code, for example, where they're signing up early and they're going to get this discount if they sign up before 2026 even starts. That is a sales pathway right there. We've got a pathway of people seeing your content on Instagram, for example, signing up for the free event, and then actually going to that free event, getting that offer, and signing up for the 2026 mastermind. We've got a nice pathway mapped out there. And the thing here is, again, as I said previously, a lot of people will say, okay, I don't necessarily trust that if I just sell one offer, people are going to jump in. So I feel like to get that trust and for me to feel that sense of certainty, I need to have multiple offers. That is not true. What I would much prefer you do instead is keep your focus on that one offer, but have multiple sales pathways, multiple ways people can come into that one offer. And this is where it makes it so easy for you to get consistent clients and consistent sales, because we're not putting all our eggs in one basket. I'm not telling you to say, okay, I have my 2026 signature mastermind, for example, and that's what I'm really focused on selling. And then my how of selling it is just going to be this free event. And I'm just going to host this free event and, fingers crossed people sign up from there. I'm saying to you, I want you to have 3 to 5 sales pathways for how people are going to be coming in over the next couple of months. That could be, I have the free event. It could also be, I'm going to be doing this 30-day low-cost paid challenge, for example, that people can jump into. And then from there, I'm going to be upselling the 2026 mastermind as well. It could be that I'm going to be reaching out to past clients with a very exclusive offer. That's another sales pathway for you. But having multiple different options means that there's not that pressure on that free event, for example. So we're not spreading out this diversity in terms of what we are selling. We're spreading out the diversity in terms of how we're selling that thing. We're giving lots of different options for how people can actually jump into that specific offer with us. And this is the point where we want to spend most of that sales planning time on, is you thinking about what are the 3 to 5 sales pathways, which I'm going to be utilizing over November, December, let's say, towards selling the offer that I really want to focus on at the moment. And then we naturally get to that question of, okay, that sounds great, having 3 to 5 sales pathways, but what should my sales pathways be? What should I actually focus on? What should I drop? And a great way to start thinking about this is looking at what is already working and what isn't already working to just get a bit of a temperature gauge there. So if you can see, for example, actually that 2026 mastermind, I've run that in 2025 as well. And actually most of the clients have come from this certain route, or when I did this certain event, or when I offered this certain promotion previously. What has worked before for you to get people into this program, and do more of that? And then equally, what hasn't worked for you, and how can we adapt this? How can we shift this? Or do we just need to scrap this entirely? If, for example, you can see, actually, I've been really consistently posting content, but actually it's not really landing and it hasn't really gotten me any clients. They've all come from different routes, but they haven't come from the content I have been posting. We can see that we don't want to just add that as a sales pathway and just keep doing the same thing knowing it's not working and hoping for a different result. Instead, we want to see, okay, where does the content maybe need shifting to get this to work? Is this something we should be focusing on as much? Should we maybe be posting twice a week instead of 5 times a week if we can see other mediums are working so much better for us? And this is one of the things I always talk about with my clients when we map out the one-page sales plan is within that section of what are you selling? What is your signature offer? The messaging is such a huge piece of this, and we need to make sure this is nailed down because otherwise those sales pathways, yes, we can have them laid out, but we need people moving through them as well. So again, if you want to see a great example of this, go to the link in the description, fill out your email, and I'll send over the video breaking down the sales plan that I had for a 24K sales month, because that is such a great example of just a really nicely executed sales plan there, literally on one page that led to a multiple 5-figure sales month. This is where I would much rather you create a 1-page plan than a 10-page document that you are not going to be using, because this 1 page, we have to be specific about what makes the cut. Like we have 1 page, we're not allowed to enter page 2 on this. That is the rule. So with that, what actually makes the cut is really, really important. So I don't want this to be something where you just throw together a few sales pathways and say, sure, I'll do that. We'll just guess that that's going to work. Actually use some data here and figure out what is most strategic for you to be focusing on. Again, this is a conversation I have so much with my clients, and we'll actually spend a bit of time on this, working out those sales pathways together. But pick 3 to 5 and then stick with those things. Print off that sales plan. Literally, I have mine. This is the cover page for it, so it's very pretty. But I have mine. I'll keep this with me. And literally, this shows you what to follow every single day. Then this is your blueprint for your business of what you should actually be focusing on and what you should be doing. Again, if you want to see the example, link in the description for that. But this is your blueprint for day to day, what you should be focusing on, because there's no more that question of, we wake up on Tuesday morning and we say, okay, what should I do today to make sales in my business? We just follow the sales plan. And that's what a sales plan should be. It's so simple that you can follow it really easy and you're able to get consistent sales because we've got multiple different ways that can actually happen. So to sum up your sales reset for you, so you can walk away with a few questions to think about. Number 1, what are you wanting to sell right now? What is the one thing that actually would be really impactful for you if you sign some clients for this over the next couple of months? What is the one offer? Again, I really want to push you to focus on one here and not just pick several different things. You can have other offers that are below that one as part of the sales pathways leading towards that main offer. But what is that signature offer going to be for you? Pick that firstly and look at any gaps you might have around the messaging there. That's really important as well. And then second part to this is those sales pathways. So actually look at how am I selling this and come up with and write down 3 to 5 different sales pathways for how you could get clients inside of this program. And then that is going to dictate your daily actions. So step 3 from that is actually just pull this into a daily to-do list. If you can see that actually my sales pathways, some of them will be one time, such as I'm doing an event, I'm hosting this workshop. Some of them will be regular things, such as I'm going to be reaching out to all my past clients over the next month. I'm going to be posting content, I'm upselling towards this, whatever it is there, or I'm going to be promoting this freebie, whatever that is, actually put that into your daily to-do list then, and that makes up what you should be focusing on towards getting sales. Because if we know that those sales pathways are really well thought out, then they just need to be really well executed to actually be getting consistent clients from them. And again, if you want to see a really tangible example of exactly what a sales plan 1 page actually looks like in practice, make sure you go to the link in the description to see my sales plan 1 page from earlier this year, from when I had a $24,000 sales month. Literally see what were the sales pathways I actually used towards selling $24,000 of one-to-one coaching inside just that 1 month. What was the offer? How did I focus the messaging? You can literally see all of that. I'm breaking the full thing down for you. So literally just go to the link in the description and fill out your email and you will get that sent to you. And that is your November sales reset. If you've enjoyed the sales reset kind of theme and you would love to see me do more of these types of videos, then make sure you give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the weekly videos. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.